Welcome back to my little film and TV channel. We have an animation that's caused a bit of gnashing of teeth, a bit of trouble. This one on a political basis, even the words racism been used. Beyond me for a computer animated comedy film, which is what this is. Martial arts as well. So anyway, we'll touch upon it, but I don't want to get too bogged down in the political side of it. As a film, as entertainment, as a family film to take your kids or your grandkids, that's what I look at it as, and this is all I'm coming up with. You'll probably notice the sort of problems when I mention who's involved and who's involved in it, in all fairness. It's 98 minutes long. It's Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. Yes, PG rated. Computer animated martial arts comedy film directed by Rob Minkoff and Mark Coetzee, with additional direction by Chris Bailey. And it is a loose adaptation, and I say loose because I've not watched it for a long time, but I did recognise certain things of the 1974 Mel Brooks film Blazing Saddles, and indeed it features the voice of Mel Brooks for the nasty guy in it, the evil person. Sorry, no, it doesn't. He's the good person. It's Ricky Gervais. That's it. Ricky Gervais plays the nasty one in it. Also, it's got Michael Cera, Mel Brooks, Ricky Gervais, as I said, George Takei, Asif Mandi, Gabriel Iglesias, Dimon Hansu, Michelle Yeoh, and Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, so an excellent cast. Released in the US on the 15th of July, and a similar date in the UK. Check your territories if it's not out yet. By Paramount and Nickelodeon movies. And Sky Cinema here in the UK, so you may have watched it on Sky Cinema. Rotten Tomatoes audience, yeah, okay on it. 3.7 out of 5, so that's 7.4 out of 10. That's fine, that's okay. Internet Movie Database, again, just below that 6 out of 10, but again, not a total disaster. 5.6 out of 10. 577 people scored it between 6 and 9, and 417 between 2 and 5, so a 58% positivity, so more or less a similar sort of figure. And it's about a hard-on-his-luck hound, Hank, who's voiced by Michael Cera, who finds himself in a town full of cats who need a hero to defend them from a ruthless villain. The voice of Ricky Gervais. His evil plot to wipe their village off the map. Yeah, there's probably easy ways of doing it, but hey, who are us to question why? With help from a reluctant teacher, Mr. Samuel Jackson voices him. To train him, our underdog must assume the role of town samurai and team up with the villagers to save the day. The only problem, cats hate dogs. Well, there you go. And that's not the racism side of it. It's obviously the Japanese element, the samurai, etc., etc., etc. The critics, Rotten Tomatoes, only 55% of their 47 critics who bothered to write a review were positive. An average rating of just 5.1 out of 10, so not great. 26 fresh, though, and 21 rotten, so just about edged it on the fresh. And the consensus, while it might be intriguing for Mel Brooks' completist Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, is an often ungainly blend of kid-friendly animation and grown-up gags. Yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash. I'll give you that. It's a bit odd at best of times. Metacritic, the other site we look at, uses an average, of course. It gave it 45 out of 100, so again, a bit low. 13 critics, 3 positive, 6 mixed, and 4 negative. And it scored anywhere between 0, AV Club, and 70 out of 100. 0, I'm sorry, that's a bit mean. It's a bit mean, that AV Club, to give it that, but there you go. And the critics themselves, Times in the UK, this is what sort of just not frustrates me, but makes me shake my head just a little bit. Larushka Evanzadeh of the Times in the UK says, no fewer than 7 screenwriters are credited. I think there's about, I saw 5, I think. All right, I'll add the fact he might have found out another couple are credited in this tiresome Kung Fu Panda ripoff. Characters are stereotypical and the lazy approach to Asian culture offensive. There you go, so it's offensive. I do have to agree with the Kung Fu Panda comment, possibly, but perhaps in an age thing, perhaps it's an age thing with me, but animation, I don't get too wound up about being offensive to anybody. Whites, pinks, greens, blue, people of colour, whatever you want to be. It's a cartoon. it's just a fun cartoon with supposedly fun characters. All right, they might not hit the mark every time, but that's what it is for me. So I don't get wound up about that. Claire Schaefer from the New York Times said, Paws of Fury manages to dish out light-hearted fun. There you go. Swashbuckling action and surface-level messaging about following your dreams, though not every joke lands. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of putting it, Claire. I don't always have a feeling. It don't always land, and it could have been better. Yeah, that's my view. The Associated Press's Mark Kennedy only give it 25 out of 100 on Metascore. He said Metacritic. He said Paramount's limp animated remake actually triggers remake. Yeah, it's loosely based. It's not a remake. Triggers new stereotypes in the service of trying to expose racism for a pre-teen audience. Here we go again. The studio seems to have reached for legitimacy by bringing the venerated Brooks along for the bumpy ride, yeah. Darting both legacies. What emerged sits uneasily at the corner of tribute, parody, theft and laziness. Yeah, I think Mark Kennedy, he's another one up himself, in all fairness. Perhaps if it hadn't been linked with Blazing Saddles, it would have received a kinder reception. Give younger viewers, please, Mark, give younger watchers some credit as far as being exposed to racism is concerned. I just don't know. But as I say, it might be my age. I might just, perhaps the sooner I'm not around, the better, and other people come along who know better than I do. The Rap's Katie Walsh. It's a breezy, funny, highly self-referential flick steeped in movie history. Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't quite do movie history justice, but yeah, I understand where Katie's coming from. And just to finish off, as I said, it did leave me a little bit flummoxed, this one. I mean, given the talent, the writing talent, 5 or 7, however many screenwriters, and the voicing actors, etc., never really rose above the average for me. I'm a big Ricky Gervais fan. Even that seemed a bit fast-paced and not quite Ricky Gervais. I think they could have used Ricky Gervais' style a little bit more in it. Mel Brooks again, more or less Mel Brooks doing his bit, but again, perhaps a little bit more of his style could have come out of it as well. Slightly too long, yeah, about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, though it doesn't make a lot of difference. If they'd lobbed 15-20 minutes, I would have probably altered my score or anything like that. Just thought it went on just a little bit too long. In the same way I thought Blazing Saddles did when I watched that many, many moons ago. I've not watched it very recently, but I thought that went on perhaps 15 minutes longer than it should have as well. It's just, for me, I forget, I'll ignore the racism side, etc., which I have no idea where that comes from. It's just a cartoon, guys. It's just an okay addition to the animation world for me. Yes, Kung Fu Panda and Blazing Saddles will be watched in the future, possibly before I ever go back to this, which I probably won't. But yes, of course I'll go back and watch Kung Fu Panda at some stage, who knows, and probably Blazing Saddles as well. As I say, it doesn't come anywhere near those two, but it tries to pay homage, all credit to it. So I will give it a watchable score. I'm going to give it a watchable score. I think that's only fair. A fair 6 out of 10. I'll just confirm, I may have been wrong with those, the breakdown of the scores on Internet Movie Database. I've just noticed something now. So please, that could have been, I think the 5.6 out of 10 is correct. I might have been wrong with the breakdown, so please accept my apologies if that's so. I think there's a lot more reviews than I'd quoted there. That was for another film that I've obviously got mixed up with, because I was doing two at once. So I was trying to multitask. Those guys can't multitask, girls, can we? That's the problem, especially at my age. My poor little brain can't cope. But I was trying to be clever. I won't be so clever next time. I'll do it as I normally do it, one at a time. Anyway, thanks, guys. Let me know what you think of this little animation. I've got what it's called now, Paws of Fury, the Legend of Hank, of course, with people like Mel Brooks and Samuel Jackson and Ricky Gervais. Yeah, could have been better. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.